This thing is on.
Oh, it's recording?
Well, it's recording. This isn't the show.
Oh, you're going to edit this part out?
I will edit this part.
No, you shouldn't bother. Fuck that.
There's a show that I listen to where that's one of their bits is this isn't the show, but they're saying it usually like 30 minutes into the show, like that wasn't the show. We'll cut all that out.
And then they don't
because it's their bit.
Well, I don't want to steal this fucking show's
bit.
No,
we're not stealing the show's bit. All I'm saying is that what I'm saying, if I'm saying anything, is I'm not saying anything. There was a point. There was. It's gone.
Can we introduce ourselves now?
We could.
All right, you're running the show. You go first.
I'm running. My name is Earl Christopher Clark. I'm an Earl. I feel like I should raise my hand, and this is a Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Yes, E. Christopher Clark, and I run a publishing thing called Clark Woods.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. What about you? What's your name? What do you like to be known for?
I'm known as Steve Woodbury. Steven, but I go by Steve. I work a regular 9-to-5er.
A 9-to-5er.
And I do stand-up comedy in my spare time.
In your spare. How much of that do you have?
How much do what?
Spare time.
Plenty. I don't have children yet.
Yeah. That's don't.
I don't have a girlfriend or wife either. So
okay, don't.
So ladies, if you're interested, I'm only slightly chubby.
Slightly.
I've been working out. I'm going to the gym after this.
That's what I was going to say. When we were trying to figure out when we could record this, earlier in the week, you were saying usually your schedule is go, work out, and then maybe after that you could podcast. So when you said you could podcast right now, I was like, whoa, was he dumping the gym for me? No. I'm like, he's only slightly chubby, but I don't want him to get slightly chubbier.
See, what I was planning on after, because can I say what town we're in? You can say we're,
yeah.
I don't know if people are going to start stalking us or
don't
whatever.
Be creepy.
We're in Merrimack, New Hampshire.
Miggity Mac, yes, that's what somebody called it once.
And I go to Gold's Gym, and my membership is good for the Hudson, Merrimack, Manchester, Milford, and Nashua Gold's.
So it is the Merrimack one? I just zoned out.
Yes, that was the first one that I listed after Hudson.
I'm a great conversationalist because I'm that asshole that just is like, hey, yeah, I'm going to tell you a story. You just raised a point. I'm going to tell you. Wait, what was he talking about?
Talking about the gym.
Yeah, no, I know. But after you said Gold's Gym, I was like, I have a Gold's Gym anecdote, and I checked out. I was like, and then I couldn't remember if you said Merrimack.
What's your Gold's Gym anecdote?
My Gold's Gym anecdote. When I Gold's Jam?
Space Jam?
Michael Jordan. No.
Go.
Gold's Gym. When we first moved here, I went to the Gold's Gym in Merrimack, and I signed up for a membership. It was like the 2-week free membership or whatever. They gave me a T-shirt.
Oh, nice.
And then I canceled my membership, but I didn't give them the T-shirt back.
Were you supposed to?
I don't know if I was. I imagine because I'd already worn the T-shirt.
If you wore the shirt, then why the hell would they want it back?
I don't think they. But I felt guilty about it ever since.
Really, it's really like bugging you.
It's one of those things. I was listening to a podcast today where they talk about letting things stick to you. In terms of like things that you just and not letting too many things stick to you, and that's how like the path to happiness. And I let too many things stick to me. So one of the things that sticks to me is that Gold's Gym shirt, which is of course why they wouldn't want it back.
You do real it stuck to your body and you had shingles for a bit, but not back then.
Not back then.
Most of the shirts that I have, this one excluded because I got this at a Ween concert.
Right.
I'm wearing a Ween shirt. Audience. No one that's listening yet because this is the first show.
Right.
And then you'll be like, oh, I've discovered the show at the 40th episode. I'll go back and listen to the first. And then, this dude's wearing a Ween shirt.
He's wearing a Ween shirt.
So most of the shirts that I've acquired over my T-shirts, that I've acquired over my life, I have not paid money for. It's because I've gone to a place and they were like, do you like Newcastle Brown Ale? And I'm like, not particularly. Here's a shirt. I'm like, cool, it's brown. I don't have a brown T-shirt.
See, I feel like...
I didn't feel bad about taking their swag.
What I'm saying, I feel like I missed out on something somewhere in life where like I was supposed to be taught these important life lessons, like free T-shirts are not something to feel guilty about,
especially if they're advertising something.
Yes, but I just. And I don't know why, but I just was like, I shouldn't. I feel obligated to continue this gym membership, even though I have no time to get there. And I think the reason
the 2-week membership.
Well, I think that I actually might have given them a credit card, so like I had every intention of it continuing. But what happened within a month or so of us moving in here is that I lost my job, and I think that's eventually why I canceled the. We should have sold this house 10 years ago. This is really the point of it. I lost my job like a month after we bought this house.
That sounds like the exact story of Steve Wiebe in The King of Kong.
I've only seen The King of Kong like once or twice. Sorry, 2 or 3 times over the same weekend. So it's been ages. I forgot that part of the story.
Yeah, because like they were like, oh, did I tell you he got laid off the day we signed papers on our house? And it was like, oh, jeez.
And that's the thing is, and we had opportunities to get the hell out of here a couple of times. We're just like, we're homeowners. We need to own a house.
And if you're going to be quiet, I want people to be able to hear you.
Yeah, it's a dark time. No, I don't know.
You're good now. You got the kids.
Yeah, I got the kids and the crap on the floor that the kids put there when they eat. And drop shit all over the place.
But it's good. Your genetic material is around.
It is.
They're intelligent. They're bright. They're fun.
I'm glad
you got some good kids.
Yeah, no. So
crying out, I feel like because I'm at your house and you have children, I've been swearing less than I normally do. And because I look at your pictures like on the calendar on the wall.
That's why.
I don't know.
I'm facing the window and I'm saying fuck whenever I want to, but you look over here and you see your sweet,
your
smiling
cute daughters in there, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe you shouldn't say shit.
I'm gonna say it. Shit.
Shit.
Sorry, girls on the calendar.
Shit. Piss.
Don't list them, please. This isn't George Carlin's record.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
So we did introductions. We talked about gyms.
We did. We talked about T-shirts.
I'm gonna go. I'm like I've been doing the Wii. I have my little pedometer.
Oh, you do. See, I'm proud of you. See, and that looks pretty.
It's the Wii Fit one.
I like it.
And there's my little me on there too.
I like it. See, I had the Wii, just the plain old Wii, not the Wii.
I have the Wii U.
I'm not that fancy.
Well, you could go get one. They're $250, I think, at
are they?
Best Buy right now, or $260 for the.
I was at like 217 pounds the Christmas that we got the Wii, and then between the Wii Fit and just watching like portions, that's how I lost most of the weight that I lost that following year. And I always really liked it because I thought it was fun, and like the pedometer is like a nice add-on to that because I had a Nike Fuel Band, and that thing lasted just over a year before it crapped out. It crapped out on me this summer.
I'm sure this thing will eventually crap out on me, but it's only like $20 to get a new one.
But it's like, okay, so people can't see this, but the Wii pedometer thing is like a circle, and you clip it onto your belt. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's liable to get less beat up. Compared to these wristbands, like the wristbands are fine, like that's what everyone's coming out with is, Nike has them, and all these places have them, and people are talking about Apple getting one, but in practice what I found is like I would bang my wrist into things, or I would be do
you normally bang your wrist into things when you're regular not wearing something on your wrist?
No.
Oh, well then just when you're wearing like I need to hit something.
I need to hit something because I haven't gotten enough enough Nike Fuel points for the day. I found no.
Do you get like prizes?
You would get like, so at the end of the day, I don't know what the Wii does if you like reach your number of steps for the day or anything like that. But the Nike thing would pop up this thing on my phone, and it would give me this cool little animation of this guy who would just pump his fist in the air and be really excited that I made my fuel for the day, and it was exciting, and then my fuel band died, and now since then I've gained weight, and I haven't been able to keep up with my exercise. It's just
you can get one of these without you can use it without the program. the program, and they're 20. These are like, this was what I got, because like I got the Wii U, and I was like, I want to start doing some more workouts besides the gym. So like when I'm at home and I don't feel like going to the gym, I can do something. So I got the Wii Fit U. Like Walmart was doing, like, I don't think they're doing it now, but they were doing some like online like deal. It was $50 for the game, the board, and this.
Oh, nice.
So
that's like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm totally getting that. And so, but like the way the little fun little thing is, like, you take your steps. It has your me figure in the top corner, and then next to it is how many calories you burn over the course of the day, and then underneath is how many steps you've taken. And I've been trying to burn 1,000 a day, 1,000 calories, because, like, you know, if you do that, you'll lose about 2 pounds a week, and that's my goal. But like, they have this little challenge, because it has this little infrared thing at the top, and then you have the new Wii has the
little board thing. No, not board.
It's like a tablet, a tablet screen, but it's also a controller. So you kind of like enter in your data into it. And then there's like these walking and altitude challenges.
Nice.
So basically, I've completed a bunch of different marathons. So basically, there's a Chicago Marathon or the New York one, or
and that's what I liked about Wii Fit, and what I imagine what's awesome about Wii U Fit, or whatever it's called.
Wii Fit U.
Wii Fit U. It's hard to figure out, where do they put the U in that?
I don't know. I guess
they put it at the end, because Super Mario Brothers U, right? Like, isn't...
Yeah, I like the system. It's good. They could have named it better.
Yeah, that would help. But, well, I mean, I think all the systems... PlayStation made the most sense. Like, it's the fourth PlayStation, so it's PS4, right?
Yeah.
But the Xbox is the Xbox One, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, but it's not the first Xbox.
No, the Xbox...
The
Xbox was the first Xbox.
And then the Xbox 360 was the second?
Yes. And then...
There's no number 2 in there.
They could have just made the Xbox 720 or something.
I don't know. But
they did, both Xbox and Nintendo made mistakes in their naming conventions.
I would say so.
Like Wii 2 would have been fine.
Absolutely.
But Wii U...
And it furthers the problem. Like, we from the very beginning sounded...
It was good. You were sharing with others. It's we. It's us.
We. Well, that's one connotation. I mean, the other connotation is we, and or not.
Pee-pee? Are you talking about?
No, I was talking about the French.
Oh, yes.
I was talking about pee-pee, because I have children, and
that's the kind of joke that they'd be like,
yeah. Not even my 8-year-old. No, Kaylee would not find that funny at all. And Melody might find it funny.
They don't like duty. One. Well, they are girls.
They are girls. They find... I don't know what they find funny. It's really hard to figure out. But nobody cares about kids.
Whatever. It's funny. I like, little kids and what they like. That's kind of funny.
What they like sometimes aggravates the crap out of me, though. The musical taste is one thing where, like, and I have a very... some would say I have no musical taste, which is, I like everything.
I think
I have no musical taste.
I think you have a decent taste in music.
But there are pop songs that will come on that I just can't stand. There are some. I know I have friends who couldn't possibly believe that. They would think I like every piece of crap that comes on the radio. But there are some things that even I don't like. And yesterday, we're listening to something in the car, listening to the pop station on iTunes Radio, which just plays the most popular songs on the iTunes charts right now. And Colby Calais comes on. And I don't particularly like Colby Calais, but...
I don't even know what that is.
So Colby Calais is a singer-songwriter, and I heard...
Oh, it's a girl.
It's a girl, yeah.
Okay.
And so she had... there was an article week or so ago about how she was doing a music video with no makeup, and I had no idea what the song was about, but I was like, oh, okay, cool. There's like...
Is she a cheese?
Is she a cheese? Like, what do you mean?
Colby.
She's not.
Boo! Oh. Your jokes are shitty.
You sure you're a stand-up comic?
Yes, I am.
No, so she had this song. I heard she'd done a video with no makeup. So the song comes on, and I'm like, that nugget was enough in my brain to go, oh, I want to listen to this and see what it said. And she's kind of poking fun at female
genitalia.
No.
That would be very horribly wrong.
It would be
for her gender, I think.
Yeah. And poking fun. I mean, poking fun.
You can't see that on a podcast, but I just did.
But they can imagine it, and that's more fun.
Yes, I'm not going to explain it. I did something with my fingers.
And so anyway, so she's the song starts, and she's I don't even know what she sings, but I'm vaguely interested because there's a message to it. There's a story about not needing to put on all the makeup or put on the posturing that not just women do, but that we all kind of do to be cool or whatever, but that women have a lot more pressure to do. And so I'm like listening to it, and we get maybe to the chorus. I don't know if we even got all the way through the chorus, and Kay was like, I don't want to listen to that. And they were just pushing my buttons, and I was just like, fine, we're not going to listen to anything. So I turned off the radio. Kay was like, why'd you turn it off? And because we can't agree on what to listen to. And Melody, the younger one, just starts crying because I turned off the radio. Aww. She doesn't care what's on. Kay was just like, put it back on. And I said, no, you don't want to listen to what I want to listen to. I don't want to listen to what you want to listen to. Let's just stop. Finally, I relent because Melody's still crying. So I turned back on. And a couple songs later, there's this horrible pop song. I think the name of the group is Fifth Harmony. I think.
Not the Fifth Element.
Not the Fifth Element. That...
With Chris Tucker? His radio show. Like, why is there a radio show in the future?
I don't know. Well, why did I forget until now that Chris Tucker was in that?
He's like, oh my God!
Multipass? It's sad that the only thing I will ever remember her for is saying multipass.
Well, she was in that stupid Resident Evil movie.
She was.
Hold on. Before... finish your kid story. I want to tell a story about a kid and a joke that I wrote that never goes over.
Okay.
I'm trying to get this slightly on track.
All right. So very quick. So a song comes on, Fifth Harmony, I think is the name of the band. It could be the Fifth Element. I don't know. And they sing some lyric about... something drama, something Michelle Obama, and I just lose it. Like I've had a long day. I had to get the kids all to myself yesterday.
So you had a bad day, had to get the kids all by yourself.
I had to take them to swim lessons, which are down this ridiculous hill, which then you have to climb back up the hill while they're whining at you the entire time after swim lessons because you made them get out of the lake. And now we've gotten into the car and we've had arguments about music. And she hears this dumb song
about
with this dumb Michelle Obama lyric, and she's like, I skip it, and she's like, why'd you skip that? I love that. And then we proceeded to yell at each other for.
Can you get like a classic rock or like classic pop stations?
And see, that's where I've gone wrong. You know what I mean? Like that, I didn't early enough introduce them to classic stuff. You know, like I was listening to a podcast today where the guy was talking about slowly introducing his daughter, who's somewhere between Melody and Kaylee's age, closer to Kaylee, I think, slowly introducing her to the Beatles, like maybe an album at a time, half of an album at a time. They were watching A Hard Day's Night a week ago, and she was laughing her ass off about the grandpa in A Hard Day's Night,
yeah.
Jokes about the grandfather, which they only vaguely remember. And I was like, see, I didn't start on that early enough. There are some classic things she likes, whether you consider it a classic or not. She loves ABBA, or she used to.
I made a face.
You did make a face. Which, again, the podcast listener can imagine. So anyway, there are certain classic things that she likes, and there are certain things that we can agree upon, but I get sick of those things. And so I'll turn on the radio, and not regular radio because I can't stand commercials.
Oh, come on. You would be like, hey, it's Jen and Steve in the morning. We got the morning buzz today. Did you know on Facebook that people, like everybody has at least one person on their Facebook page that isn't even their friend. And they
ever just one?
Yeah, oh my God. I was waiting for muffins this morning. Like it was my boss's birthday, and we were getting muffins because we had our meeting. And I went to this place in Billerica called Java's Brewin.
There's a good name.
And they apparently have good coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker myself, so I can't attest to it. And they have really good muffins, but I was just annoyed because we had placed the order the day before, and I was expecting the muffins in my hands and then to walk out and give them money.
The Muffin Man was not...
They were still cooking the muffins that we ordered. And I just got fed up, and I'm like, give me the damn whatever muffins, and then we'll go. And she ended up getting... my boss ended up eating one of the ones that was that one, I guess.
But the
but that was what was on the radio.
Zoo,
the Morning Zoo that was what was on the radio. Really loud too. It was just like really, and I'm like, why is this so loud? I'm so annoyed.
Yeah.
Like
also, like why? There are so many places you could go to that don't cost a damn thing. Whether it's Pandora, whether it's whatever, you could stream off of any damn thing.
Well, you get ads on Pandora though.
Well, yeah, you get ads on Pandora,
but it's only like one in between a song.
Between every few songs. Like to have to, I don't know. Some people, I guess, like listening to the Morning Zoo stuff. I don't know.
I never could.
The people at the 7-Eleven across the street. It's funny to go in there because sometimes there was one guy who used to work there who always had on the most conservative talk radio you could find.
God, I used to listen to that crap, so I can understand.
So and nothing against talk radio. I mean, that's what podcasting is, right? It's talk radio, but with
hopefully more entertaining. Hopefully, what we're doing is more entertaining.
Hopefully, more entertaining
and less agenda based.
Yeah, I mean, the only agenda is to entertain people enough that they come back the next week to listen to you again.
Yeah.
But it would be funny to go in there to listen to different people, and that guy's gone. But there's a guy over there, younger guy now, who listens to classic heavy metal, like not even classic rock. Like he's got. It might be AAF. Like, is AAF still around? I don't know.
They still exist, which is good.
Yeah, and so it might be AAF, but I never hear any sort of announcers or anything like that. So it might be a Pandora station or something. It's not one of the myriad of New Hampshire classic rock stations, which seems like the only type of station that exists in New Hampshire.
One of my favorite New Hampshire classic rock stations to bring it. Whenever I go up to the Lakes region, or I go up to Fun Spot, for some arcade action, I always listen to the Hawk.
The Hawk.
I forget what the number is, but it's just
they've got that great Hawk sound. I was about to try to do a Hawk sound.
Try it.
I can't.
See, every time I go there, like I wait and I'm like blah 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 10 something something the Hawk, and if they don't do the sounder, I get pissed off. I'm like, what the fuck? Where's my Hawk sounder?
I've been listening to Steely Dan for 10 minutes and no Hawk sound.
Where's my fucking sounder? If I was the program director of that station, be like, every time you say the word Hawk, that sounder happens.
That happens. Must happen.
I don't give a shit if you don't like hearing that. You're working on this station called the Hawk.
Now, what the hell is the one? The Shark. I think the Shark is more towards the
Seacoast. That's the Seacoast.
That's the Seacoast. And they've got like the chomp sound. And if I don't hear the chomp, that I kind of get a little upset. Yeah,
you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go rewind back to, like, I had this joke that I
oh yes, we were gonna. Yeah, I think I was. Totally
no, it's fine. It's fine.
So yes, the joke.
I'm just bringing. I had a joke that I had in my act for a bit, and it never got anything. I maybe a chortle here and there, but never big laughs. And I just liked it in my heart. I liked this joke, and I wanted to have it in there. It was just when I moved. I used to live in Marlborough, Massachusetts. When I moved to Hudson, I was talking to my old roommate, and she has a nephew that was. He always liked me, but he was like, he was stranger danger. Didn't want to like make
Yeah.
But he was like curious about me, and he was like, "Who's that guy?" And that's Steve. He lives here. He's a good guy, and he's like, "Okay, I'm fine with that." He was just like he talked way above his years, sort of, but not like, but he was still at the level of being. I think he was like 4 at the time,
right?
So I move away, and he's over, and the door to my old room is shut, and he turns to my old roommate Angelina and goes, "Why is Uncle Steve still asleep?" And I'm Uncle Steve all of a sudden. Why is Uncle Steve still asleep? And she goes, he doesn't live here anymore. He moved. And he goes, that's stupid. He's stupid. And I don't know. I thought it was funny and cute that this kid was just like, he's stupid for moving away, even though he's moving closer to where he's working.
See, I find it funny maybe because I have kids. And
Maybe the crowds that have been working in front of just give no shits about children.
Apparently.
And they don't think that's fun. And like, it's cute. It's a cute joke. And it's one of the few jokes I've ever written that's not terribly gross and offensive. And I like it. And I keep on trying to do it and everyone hates it. So I'm like, fuck it.
Speaking of giving no shits, before we recorded, I said to you that one of the ideas I had for a way of starting the podcast was this question. And then I over-explained my joke. That's why none of my jokes are funny. And that was it.
You tell jokes?
Sometimes.
See, that was me. That was a dig.
So, speaking of giving no shits, the question that came to my brain today, listening to another podcast, was
why do you keep on wanting to steal from other goddamn podcasts?
No, because I have no original ideas.
Okay, good. This is the podcast about a guy that listens to a lot of podcasts. No, I was listening to something and they asked this question. I think it's a very, very good question. What the fuck is a Tootsie Roll? I don't think we're going to have anything more enlightening than you already heard.
What the fuck is a Tootsie Roll?
It's candy.
But it's what is it? What's in a Tootsie Roll?
Corn syrup.
But it looks like it should be chocolate, right?
Yes, and it has probably chocolate flavor on it.
But it's just, I hate Tootsie Rolls.
Well, then don't eat them.
No, but see,
you're the one who brought it up. I hate these. Let's talk about it.
I know. I hate it. And the reason I brought it up is because Tootsie Rolls remind me of the type of shit that I take when I've been constipated for a week.
And the little rabbit poo.
And you sit on the toilet and you finally are able to get something out.
You should have more fiber.
I should. You look into the toilet. And it's something about the size of a Tootsie Roll, and you've been working at that for a week in theory, but like for like 15 minutes.
Do you ever think of like an enema or something?
That's what
instead of like working really hard.
No, I mean
you could just shove something up your ass, squirt some water up there.
I have not thought about that.
Just in the tub, do it in the tub, just in case, because you don't know.
Do those things really work?
I don't know. I've never gotten. I don't have the shit problems that you do.
Just nobody could see, but looking at you as you're saying that, it looked like maybe you're an expert on this.
No, I'm not an expert.
I
like when I'm like I've had it. I'm usually pretty regular. I poo every morning.
Okay.
And sometimes it's a little bit sloppier if I've had extensive amounts of beer the night before.
Okay.
But most of the time it's pretty all right. In fact, the last couple of days it's been like a nice clean break.
Nice.
Like a one wiper just to make sure.
Right. Yep.
And I'm in the shower, washing off, getting ready for the day.
See, and most of the time it's like that. I'm just saying every once in a while there's a period of I don't know what that results in Tootsie Roll like.
You eating too much cheese or rice?
No, maybe
you eat brown rice. Maybe that's more fiber in it.
The point of all this, what's the point of all this?
I don't know. We were talking about Tootsie Rolls.
We were talking about Tootsie Rolls.
But then we started talking about duty because that's what it reminds you of.
That's what it reminds me of. The Tootsie Roll, I brought up the Tootsie Roll for a reason, and this is why I should get more sleep, or I should. There was a reason for bringing up the Tootsie Roll, and I don't remember what it was.
Stork chocolate reason, another shitty candy.
Yeah. Oh, Tootsie Rolls, shitty chocolate, not chocolate that looks like shit, but shitty chocolate. So I live don't be creepy. I live in Merrimack, and that's where we are right now. I live in a condo with townhouse development.
Don't tell them which one.
I'm not going to say which one. But I live in a townhouse development that's pretty popular for trick-or-treating.
Well, yeah, no shit, because it's like oh, there's a door, there's candy, there's a door, there's candy. Yes. Like, why the fuck would you not like?
So we make out like bandits on at Halloween time.
Oh yeah, because you have kids.
We have kids, right? And I'm a teacher, so I'm home during the day, and I eat most of the fucking chocolate. Like, and the kids come home and they get to have like 1 or 2 pieces of chocolate if they eat all their food at dinner. So they don't notice that the chocolate diminishes far faster than they eat it.
Yeah.
They don't, at least right now, they haven't noticed that Dad is the one who consumes most of the candy.
Filling up pillow sacks.
But so Halloween's the 31st of October. By
Really?
By the time we get to the middle of November, right? By the time we get to the middle of November, and I've tried, I try to like parse it out, and not eat too much, and whatever. All that's left at the bottom of the bowl, fucking Tootsie Rolls. Nobody likes Tootsie. I defy
in your family or just in general?
In my family, but I say nobody likes Tootsie. You'll eat them if you have to.
I like the fruit flavored ones. Have you had those?
That's different. Yeah, I think I have had those, and those are all right. But it's
the same shit. It's corn syrup and a flavor.
But the standard like chocolate brown Tootsie Roll, I don't think anybody likes fucking Tootsie Rolls.
I heard they used to use them in the war to seal holes in tanks.
They seal holes in my tank.
Yeah, well, don't eat them.
But when there's no chocolate left, it is. You
go out and buy chocolate. You have a 7-Eleven across the street.
I do.
Oh wait, now they know where you live.
Don't be creepy. We're completely triangulated. Wait, are there?
Just knocking. Do you do that shitty podcast?
There used to be 2 7-Elevens when we first moved in here. There were 2 7-Elevens in this town.
Now it's only a 7-Eleven town.
There's only a 7-Eleven town. You know where what the other 7-Eleven is now? Is the guns and ammo store.
Oh, I passed that on the highway when I got off the highway.
The guns and ammo store.
Oh, and the toll was free.
The toll was free. Yeah, I don't know, because ever since they opened up exit 13, which is technically in Bedford, it was just over the line.
Yeah.
There's no toll on exit 13, which makes no sense. So you come into the town of Merrimack, and for the longest time, for the last 3 years, or however long that the exit 13's been open, you would have to pay a toll at exit 10, exit 11, and exit 12.
Just in Merrimack.
And if you went literally like 100 feet over the border into Bedford, you could get off at exit 13, which is the airport exit, and not pay a toll at all.
What is the, like...
And some clever fucker, the day that toll opened, also realized that if you're willing to take the time... The Bedford tolls are right there, right after the airport exit. You can get off exit 13, don't pay a toll, go about 50 feet up the road, get back onto the highway, and completely bypass the Bedford tolls. Like, I don't know who designed this shit or what deal the airport has, but I mean, so that's why I think exit 12 no longer has a
toll. Well, like next time I'm coming up, if I'm going to the Jade to do some karaoke or something, I'll take exit 12 instead of like going up. I've been going up the long way up
exit 11, and then you got to go to avoid the toll you got to go exit 7? No, exit 7.
I don't even get on the highway. From
Hudson. Anyway, fucking tolls in Merrimack.
But why is it just this town? It's just really weird.
We don't know, and so it's a kid. I can't believe this kid is actually old enough to run for Senate, but a kid came to my door a week ago, knocking at the door, and he's running for state Senate, and his entire platform is to eliminate, this is how he described it to me. My platform is to eliminate the exit 11 tolls.
Just 11.
That's it. I was like...
But 10 you'll keep, because that's where the outlets are.
That's where the outlets are. But the exit 11 tolls. And I was like, okay.
I guess that we're getting way too local. We might as well be talking about what's happening outside your house. There was a cop outside earlier. We don't know why.
Outside. Not for the child molester who used to live here. However,
you're giving it away again.
I am.
Just like,
well, come on.
All right, detectives, see if you can find out where he lives.
See if you can find me. So we could go slightly less local.
Talk about what?
Talk about what we were originally going to talk about, which was Market Basket, which is local, but it's not.
No, but like it's totally a national story.
It is a national story.
I saw an article in Esquire, Fortune, and some
Esquire
other things.
I saw today. A friend shared that Esquire article.
If you want to give the background for people, in case this is no longer relevant story when people are listening to it.
Hopefully I know the background. It's I don't know if I know the back. I know there's Artie whatever, and then there's Artie T. Artie T is the good one.
Okay, so The Demoulas family ran a bunch of grocery stores.
They did,
and they they started with one in Lowell back in 1916, I believe. And this is just from my memory. I'm not looking at the stories here.
Yeah.
1916-ish, maybe 1919, sometime in the early 20th century. They, started building it up from there, and then, kids took over the business, and then the kids of those kids took over the business, but then, there was a battle between cousins over
what to do with the business.
Yes, right? And so there's Arthur T. Demoulas.
Yes.
And there's Arthur S. Demoulas.
Now, Arthur S. Demoulas is the one who's like the villain, right?
In the story, yes.
In the narrative, as it's played out,
they've been fighting for years, and then Arthur T. tried to muscle Arthur S. out a long time ago, and then there was legal battles, and so Arthur S. is back in, and Arthur T. was serving as the CEO,
right?
And Arthur S. had
Arthur T.
fired because he had majority share or something like that.
Okay.
And then everybody went fucking nutso over it of the employees, because everybody that worked for the company really liked this guy as the CEO.
Yeah.
Because when you're an employee of somebody and they're giving you not necessarily stock up, but he was putting 15% of their pay into a pension plan every week.
This is a guy who cared about his workers.
Yeah,
and that's why it's becoming the national story. I think the Esquire headline was something about this is the final battle for the American middle class. I mean, maybe it's a little hyperbole, but
I think it is. This is something when I first saw this going on, before it even became something even close to national, I was like, this is important.
Yeah, it's really crazy to see how it's developed and to see how much passion there is. And it seems to me that everybody I know is on, and this might just be me, or it might be Facebook's fucking algorithms. Fucking Facebook.
Yeah. I had a little rant about that last week if you didn't read it.
So we should circle back to that. I didn't see that rant. But everybody that I know is on, regardless of where they seem to stand on any other political or social or whatever issue, seems to be on the side of these workers, and that I'm really heartened by that, and also a little freaked out by that, because I have these what I consider not to be ultra conservative friends, but friends who I disagree with on almost everything politically, who are also just as firmly behind these, or seem to be behind these workers as pinko commie liberal me is. Yeah,
well, the thing is, they're doing this. They're right after the Arthur T. was fired. 8 top not executives, but eight top managers stopped working, and so they were fired as well.
Right.
And then that's when the hullabaloo happened.
Yeah.
And so people are calling it a strike. It's not technically a strike.
Yeah.
Though they're showing up for work.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing to sell, or there are people in there working, and they don't really need more than one register open.
Right, because there's nothing. I mean, the first thing, the produce, they were letting the produce rot.
It wasn't even getting there.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, it wasn't getting there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but if you walked into one of the stores now, it would be completely empty.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a shame, because the other part of it is that my mom shops at Market Basket. It's not just that it's a great place, or that it seems to be. It's not just that it's a great place for the employees. It's also pretty damn good in terms of its prices for the consumer. It's never been overpriced in the way that other. My mom, at least from my mom, when I think of standard consumer, my mom is one of the people I think of.
Yeah.
And Stop and Shop to her has always seemed overpriced. I I don't know. We shop at Shaw's because it's the closest place to us.
There's
here.
not really a there's not really a Market Basket in this
there's
area.
not. Yeah, and there might be one in Manchester.
Yeah, there is one in Manchester. But,
so I mean but anyway, like, you know, a lot of these other places are a little bit more expensive, and Market Basket, you know, is Market Basket more for your dollar? I think
a lot of people online have been saying, "Oh, less for your dollar, get it?"
Fucking
yeah. Stupid catchphrase comedy. No, but like the way that their pricing is kind of controlling the rest of the industry as well, because in order to compete with Market Basket, they need to keep their prices lower. Unfortunately, because of that, the other stores take out that on their employees. They're, you know, every, you know, mostly part-time, and
high school,
all minimum wage.
I mean, and we both worked at grocery stores.
Yes, so we have experience. Neither of us worked at Market Basket.
Yes. My brother worked at Market Basket, I think.
Yeah, I think most of our group of friends did, except for me.
Yeah, so I worked at, not to get too off the point, but we can talk about where we worked in our own adventures in a second. But, like, yeah, I mean, who do you have working there? You've got your high school students, maybe your college students, especially in the summertime, your college students who are home for the summer. That was me for the first couple of years of college.
I as well.
Yeah, and then you've got some, you know, I remember that you'd get some retired folks who'd be there to pick up a little extra cash. You've got the folks who have worked there for ages and worked their way up.
We called them lifers.
And who've worked their way up to management, and
some didn't.
Some didn't. You know, and yeah, those people, as you say, get hurt. I worked at Purity Supreme and then Stop and Shop. Where did you?
I actually was at Stop and Shop, like, briefly, but I worked at the one in Acton, Massachusetts. Okay. And that was only for a little bit after I turned 16. And then I, you know, when I was in college for realsies.
Yeah.
When I was playing at being in college, when I went to community college and would sleep in and not go to class.
Right.
I didn't count that as going to college.
Yeah.
Because I didn't. But I was enrolled. But then when I actually started going to college for actually being there,
right.
I got, you know, the job at Hannaford's.
Yes. Okay.
In Chelmsford.
Chelmsford, Mass. We haven't mentioned is that the first mention of Chelmsford?
Yeah.
This is where. What do we share in common? We grew up in Chelmsford.
Yes, we went to Chelmsford High. You know, we've been we've been friends since, you know, through your brother. We've become good friends over the years. You know.
I don't know if I still. Okay, so. Horribly off topic, which might be the name of our show.
Isn't that what we?
I think that's
decided
what we decided
on. You could underline it.
I'm gonna underline it. That's the name of our show. Horribly off topic.
Don't try to use it as like a catchphrase in the show.
Oh, but I've got to now.
All right.
Whackity smackity do. No. No. So there's I have a portfolio. So one of the things that I remember, because you were 2 years younger.
Yes.
So there weren't a lot of classes that we shared. And I had forgotten that we were in this same class. It must have been a drawing class or like an art class or something.
I think it was, but I like ended up leaving the class. But it was like we were there. I was there for a good month. But it was like, I don't want to actually do this. This is like above my level of skill, and I don't want to.
I got to that point too, like sophomore year of college. Like I was not meant to be an art student either. But it took me longer to realize that.
Yeah, I luckily found out freshman year.
Very good for you.
Of high school.
I was too goddamn divided in what I wanted to do for way too long into college. It took me till like sophomore. Anyway, so I have this portfolio that I've had since high school, definitely since college, and it had years and years of drawings in it, and
they were all of dicks.
Only one of them, which I'm going to tell you about. Now, actually, I did have a bunch of life study drawings in there. I don't know which of them I kept. The whole point of this story is that I was purging this portfolio last weekend.
Oh.
And I'll get to the reason I brought it up here in a second. But yeah, I did have a bunch of. They seem to bring in the male nude models more than they brought in the female nude models.
Everybody looks looking at dongs.
Yeah. No. No, they don't.
Don't agree with me so quickly.
So I had a lot of pictures of men and their junk hanging out.
Wangers.
And I don't think I kept any of those. I also didn't really keep any of the ones of the women.
It's because you did a bad job of drawing tits.
I did a pretty bad job of drawing the tits, yes. Which is ultimately why I
like
gave
they
up
were
drawing in the first place, because I'd been waiting my whole life to draw tits. And when I found out that I couldn't draw them well, that's sophomore year of college, I was like, I can't draw tits. So
that was one of my favorite things to do when I was younger, like, because like I'm like finding like stuff to jerk off to.
That's the whole reason to become an artist, is you can draw your own stuff to jerk off to. And when I couldn't do it,
yeah, I was like, I would be like looking at my comic books, and I'd be like, oh, look at these hot girls and whatnot, and I'll be like, oh, I'll just draw this picture of like Rogue, like this, like reclined with her arms behind her and her breasts pointed out.
Yeah,
going like this.
It's good that you described that, because there are a lot of Rogue poses that the listener could imagine.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'll just draw her without a shirt.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And now she's got her tits out, and then there's jizz on it.
I never got to the jizz stage, but
I'm sorry. You have 2 kids. Yeah, I think you managed to get to the jizz stage.
The jizz stage at least twice. But we digress. So I'm cleaning out this portfolio, and I'm flipping through it, and there weren't that many high school drawings, but what I found was a portrait I did of you.
What?
In high school, and I found the portrait that you did of me.
What?
So we must have been sitting opposite each other, and I don't know if at that moment, knowing that we were going to do a podcast, that I kept them, or I was like, might be time to get rid of them.
Should we use those pictures as our first promo for the first show?
If I have them upstairs, then yes. So I found it, and I actually did an all right job of it. I did terrible jobs of myself in self-portraits. None of my self-portraits looked anything like me.
Mine look like yours?
Your drawing of me looked like me, but none of my drawings of me looks like me. And my drawing of you wasn't great, because I was always way too cartoony and whatever. But I was like, that's Steve. I actually recognize him.
With no beard, though. I have a beard now.
No beard. Yes, you have the beard now. You were wearing a hat.
What is it? Was it Ranma or whatever? Ranma. Why, it's one of my favorite anime of all time, and I'm saying it wrong.
Are you disavowing your love of Ranma?
No, I've been buying it on Blu-ray. They finally have it. It's like I used to buy it on VHS for like $35 a tape for 2 episodes.
Ranma was one of those things that, my brother John, your friend John, he hated that I stole things from him. Uh-oh. In terms of like something would be his thing, like 9 Inch Nails, which everyone thinks of as my thing that knows me. 9 Inch Nails was my brother's thing before it was my thing. He hated me for that.
Oh jeez.
There were like lots of things he hated me for over the years, of like co-opting that became my thing. Ranma was one of those things that like you guys all loved, and I could never figure fucking Ranma out at all. Like I actually sat...
I remember sitting in the living room watching it. Because your dad wasn't taping like football or something for a minute, so we could watch something on the goddamn VCR.
Right.
And
it wasn't September through January.
He wasn't doing that thing with the Nintendo or the baseball game for fucking ever. I want to play Punch Out. What the fuck?
Oh, all sorts of things that are going to come up on future episodes. So anyway, you were Ranma.
So we're watching the tape or something like that, and you're like, I don't like the animation of this, and I'm being a grouch, and blah, 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 blah. Well, then fuck off.
Fuck off. Go upstairs, you fucking... We're like other things we have to figure out, right? Like, what's the theme music? And do we have an email address? Do we want to... Because... we haven't looked it up. Like, if we did it at one of the domains that I own, that would be easy. Like, I own clarkwoods.com, and that's probably where I'll post it, just because it'll be free for me to post it there. But
you can't put it on iTunes?
It'll be on iTunes.
Okay.
But
I don't know how this shit works. I just talk into
You're
microphones.
talking to microphones. Let me figure out all the technical. It used to be way more fucking complicated. Not that we should talk about podcasts at the end of our podcast, because that's a pretty lame way to wrap things up. Anyway, I just think if people wanted to email us to complain, where would they email us? And yeah. Horribly off topic at clarkwoods.com.
Well, you can do that. You own the domain.
I own Clark. Horribly off topic at clarkwoods.com. Complain to us.
Or you could just make it like HOT.
HOT. Hot. Oh yeah, I could do both. I'll have to look. So try.
Because people like me spell like shit.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, horribly off topic at clarkwoods.com.
You know what? Yeah, we've changed our hot. HOT at clarkwoods.com.
So therefore, people are like, oh.
Hot. It's hot.
So that's our email address.
Hot.
Hopefully you'll have that set up before
I post this.
Yeah, and then
it'll take me all of 30 seconds. So
buttons.
Buttons.
You sew buttons on an old man's
yes,
coat.
thank you. Yes, sew buttons. Did we say anything about our grocery? We did. We said which grocery
we
stores
just talked about that we worked there. Oh, I forgot to bring it up. Like we were talking about the going. See, I used to be the guy that would send people off. Now I'm the reining people back in.
Me in. Yeah.
Jesus, I shouldn't be. This is not my role.
I will try better to not need to be reined in the next time.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you said that most of the people that you found on Facebook were overwhelmingly agreeing with.
I think so.
With Arthur T and getting him back in there as CEO, and everybody going back to work, and everybody being able to shop and everything. But my roommate yesterday, I get home and I notice there's a Market Basket bag in the kitchen. I'm like, what? Market Basket? What did you go there to get a bag? What did they have? And he's like, I picked up a couple of things. I'm like, why? He's like, because I'm not going to support them and their boycott. And I'm like, you're not supporting them by I mean, technically, yeah, you're not supporting the protesters by shopping
there, yeah.
But and he's just like, because he works for a grocery store,
yeah.
I won't mention which one, just
just in case.
Just so and I won't mention his name either, just so he doesn't get in trouble or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, these guys, they can rot in hell. Those people, and I'm like, is it because you think you'll get? You are getting more business currently because of it, but do you think you're going to benefit from it?
Yeah. How are you? Yeah.
I don't think that he is. But I think he's under the misconception that he's going to somehow benefit.
Right.
Because his company is, despite getting more business, is not going to have it trickle down to the people that are working there.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, the company is probably sending people from other stores that are not, near a Market Basket to help support the stores that are, and therefore not needing to hire anybody else or, and then that's not affecting the bottom line. And they're raking in the cash and they don't really need to, So, I think I understand where he's coming from.
Right.
Sort of, but I completely disagree.
Yeah. And like I said, it may just be my perception that everyone is sort of for it, because I have made liberal use of the block feature on Facebook, where I don't defriend people, but I just turn.
I didn't even know there was a block.
I don't know if it's
suck
block
at Facebook
or what it is, but there's a feature where if you're just getting sick of what somebody's posting, you can choose not to have their stuff show up in your feed. And there are just a few friends just because of the level. It's not because I
hope I'm not one of them.
I know. I would tell you if you were.
Cool.
But there are a couple of people that I've considered myself to be close to over time that just mainly because of not even because of their politics, but because they talk about nothing but their politics, I've just blocked them because I don't want to see it.
Mexicans need to get out. America.
Mexicans do need to get out of America, and
well, they're in America. They're South America. Well, no, it's still Central. No, it's still North America.
It's still North America. Well,
Mexico is North America.
No, it is not. It is Central America.
I thought it was still North America.
No, it's Central America is a totally different thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, in Risk, it's North America.
It is North America. And Kamchatka, or camel crap,
is that what is that the translation?
No. Camel crap is... We're eventually going to talk... I mean, you've already talked about my dad. Camel crap, for people who saw my last play, Temptress...
I did. I was one of those people. So I raised my hand.
Camel crap is what my dad called Kamchatka. It doesn't sound anything like it, but camel crap was, and that's part of. Is it part of Russia or is it part of?
It's somewhere in Asia, I think.
Oh, it's part of the Asian
continent.
Asian continent,
which is a bad way to play Risk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I used to do the strategy of getting Australia first,
right, and operate
then
out from
trying
Australia.
to get out from there. But it's really hard to hold on to Asia, because you have so many sides.
You have so many places that you're
going to be attacked from.
Yeah.
So my new method, and I'm giving it away. Don't play Risk with me because you'll know exactly how I'm going to play, and that won't be fun. But I usually go and get South America.
Yeah.
And then branch out.
Yeah, because there isn't that. You only have to worry about. Can somebody hit you from Africa?
Yes, but only at one point.
Only at one point. Okay.
And so you can either choose to go to North America, and then grab that territory up there, and still get the bonuses from South America at the beginning. Because a game bonus that early, even if it's just 3 troops more, it makes a difference.
Makes a difference.
And you go up and get North America, and then you got that entire
side of you get the entire hemisphere.
Yeah, and then you can, you can branch off to go to Europe next, or if you can go to Africa next, depending on which way. Do not go to Asia. Asia is last.
I am intrigued because, I've always sucked at most games, video games more than board games, but I've sucked at most games. I think mostly because I have no goddamn strategy. I kept thinking, and I haven't played Risk in a while. It's the next time I play Risk, I'm gonna try Australia. That seems to now you've wisened me up.
I've tried it a couple of times, and
it seems like if you had never played before, it seems like once you grasp the basics of how to play Risk, that would be.
If you can manage to get Australia and just sit there and hold it, and do the South America method, and just keep on fortifying Indonesia, so people can't get there. I played way too much Risk. I'm just these are all the fucking cards. I know the goddamn Atlas because of Risk.
Now, if we'd had this podcast back when I was doing Temptress, I can't remember if it was Crystal or one of the people in the scene where Risk is played in that play had never played Risk before, and they're like, I got to learn the rules of this, and so this would be the perfect primer. I wish we'd recorded this back in January,
and then we could have used it as a promoting tool, although. Something that nobody knows about to use to promote something that people do know about isn't necessarily the best way.
Just
hey, this just happened. We're just making this show, and here go.
Come see this.
I promote the show that I have tomorrow. If
if this were going to be out by then.
Yeah, but I doubt it. And again, people know about my show. they don't know that we're doing this podcast right now for the first time.
We know that we're doing this podcast.
Yes,
that's the important.
All right, we're almost done. We're almost at an hour.
Done, yeah. We've got 2 different clocks because
you forgot to start.
I forgot to start that one. So
okay, we're at an hour.
We've talked for an hour.
Yay!
We've got a podcast.
We did it for the first time, and I think it sounded pretty good.
I think it did.
I think you might have been a little bit low in the mix because you weren't leaning forward enough, and I yell a lot.
Yeah, you can never tell. That happens in most of the other ones that I do too.
I think we should get you a lapel mic.
A lapel. I would feel much fancier and much more like a real podcast.
You'd have to wear a blazer, though, when we do the podcast. Put it on.
I would feel like maybe I would stay more on topic.
If you were wearing a blazer?
How do we close? I don't know how we wrap things up.
Well, I don't know. We could just stop recording.
We could.